What's up, Greg? I hope you're all having a great day, having a great holiday season, having a merry jingle old jangle time. Welcome back to my channel. This, of course, is another episode of He's Back. Today we're going to be talking about Paul Zimmer, one of Musical.ly's former biggest stars, how he disappeared and is now back. But he's pretending that he's not. He's pretending to be someone else. He's pretending he's just a different dude. And he's really hoping no one notices, but guess what? I noticed. And so did everyone else. So if you don't know who the disgraced Musical.ly star Paul Zimmer is, or maybe you're like me and have forgotten a lot of the details about Paul Zimmer, let me go ahead and refresh your memory real quick. So back a couple years ago when TikTok was still Musical.ly, Paul Zimmer was one of the biggest creators on the entire app. He lip-synced, he showed his ab, he used his good looks to gain millions of loyal young followers. In a way, he was sort of an e-boy before e-boys existed. He was sort of pre-e-boy. He was a pre-boy. I actually did a video about Paul Zimmer like almost 2 years ago. It actually might be 2 years to the day depending on when I upload this. And I think this clip from that video pretty much sums up what he's all about. Okay, so watch this Musical.ly. Hey, it's me, Danny, rapping on the mic. I'm not getting copyright claim tonight. Look at Paul Zimmer, dancing so slick, playing with his jacket and he takes it off quick. The caption of that Musical.ly is smile, and then a smile emoji, 2 hearts, Instagram, Paul Zimmer, hashtag Black History Month. That's his big Black History Month message. So I made that video about him and then eventually made another video where I actually met him. And I just remember that whole couple months span of time where I made those videos just feeling like he is such a fascinating person. I could never understand like what was going through his head when he did the things he did. He made really, really bad Instagram comedy, just like the worst one-dimensional, barely even a joke Instagram comedy.
I just had some beans. Seriously?
He had a YouTube channel where he would vlog his life, but his life was like not at all what you would expect it to be. Because to me, I picture like Musical.ly and TikTok stars being these like young kids who have this group of like, you know, good-looking friends that they pal around with all the time, and they're always getting into trouble. They're always making videos together and laughing, and everyone's kind of dating each other. But from Paul Zimmer's vlogs, it seemed like he just lived with his girlfriend and lived a very quiet life.
All right, guys, Paul's gonna jump to down there. Yeah. That was so smooth.
He was really into small tabletop games. Like he had a mini bowling game.
I am super obsessed with like little tabletop sports.
It's like someone put the mind of a 70-year-old man into a 24-year-old's body. But his content wasn't all sunshine and rainbows and dancing with little Christmas decorations. Because over a year ago, Paul ended up leaving social media completely. He deleted all of his YouTube videos. I think he wiped his Instagram clean. He stopped posting on Musical.ly, seemingly because of a little controversy he got himself into. It was a pretty big deal on Musical.ly when it happened. But basically, Musical.ly had a live streaming service called Lively where you could go live. It was basically like going live on YouTube or on Twitch or anything like that, and people could send you gifts, which they would pay for with real money, and then you, as the creator, would get the real money when people would send you those gifts. So Paul was doing this thing where he would tell people that if they sent him gifts, he would duet their Musical.lys, or he would follow them back, or he would give them a shout out. And basically, it turned out he wasn't doing any of that. So on top of just being really shady and like pressuring your fans to give you money for the most minimal thing in return, like duetting someone's TikTok, he was just straight up not even doing it. So pretty shady. He was probably making a buttload of money. His butt was probably full of cash. So I think at one point there was like a hashtag ban Paul Zimmer that was trending on Musical.ly. And all in all, it just seemed like everyone had kind of turned against him. And so he just left. He was like, okay, bye-bye. And he was never seen again. Until now. Well, actually a couple months ago. But it is definitely not in the way that you would think. Because to me, when someone comes back from a controversy, the thing that they usually do first is apologize. Maybe he would try to make up for his controversy by doing the things he promised he would do or promising to do better in the future. But Paul Zimmer seems to have a little bit of a different approach to making a comeback. He's just pretending to be some other dude. And trust me when I say this story gets very strange and a little bit unsettling. So I first became aware of Paul Zimmer's return a couple months ago because a lot of you guys actually started sending me all of these pictures of Paul Zimmer taking acting classes. So there's a few pictures that are very clearly Paul Zimmer, and also it looks like his girlfriend was taking the class too. I recognize her from a lot of his TikToks. So it's like definitely him. And there's some video testimonials of Paul Zimmer talking about how much he likes the classes. But the weird thing is, in all of these promotional things, he's going by the name Troy Becker instead of Paul Zimmer.
Hey guys, I'm Troy.
Which is weird. It's like, why why do you need a different name? You were like super popular on social media before. Shouldn't that help you get into acting? But since he had the whole controversy, maybe not. Maybe he was like trying to get away from that. Plus a lot of actors have stage names that aren't their real name. A lot of people were sending me this saying you should make a video about this. And at that point I was kind of just like, I don't know. It seemed like he kind of wants to be done with social media. He's trying to get into a different career. Hopefully one, acting, where he can't like pressure young people into giving him money. So it seems like this is actually probably a good thing for him, you know? He's sort of leaving the social media stuff behind him, pursuing a new career. I'm not gonna make a video being like, "Hi, I found you. You can't run from me. I'm gonna keep making fun of you. You can never escape." But when I saw these pictures, I have to admit, I was a little bit skeptical, and I was definitely intrigued. As a man who, myself, am constantly told I look like every other white guy with brown hair and a big nose, I can definitely relate to the struggle of being confused with someone else. So I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt, and try to decide for myself if this is really Paul Zimmer. You know, maybe it is some other guy who just looks really similar to Paul Zimmer. So I decided to conduct an analysis of both faces using some of today's most advanced facial recognition software to see if they really are the same person. And here's what I found. Yeah, they're the same person. I analyzed it with my eyes, and it turns out when you look at both of them side by side, they're the same person. I used an advanced technique called looking at both of their faces and seeing that they're the exact same person, and the results came back 100% positive. I also analyzed their hairstyles, 100% match-a-rooney, 100% didn't even try to look like a different guy. He just generally didn't even try to look like a different person. It's just clearly Paul. Thus concludes my study. CIA, please hire me. So there you go. He is Paul, and he is Troy. And they are the same person. And it's good that I figured that out a couple months ago when I did, because that's when things started to do squats. That's right. The plot thickened. Out of the blue, this picture appeared on Paul Zimmer's Instagram account, which had been completely wiped clean of any picture. So this was the only picture on Paul Zimmer's Instagram account. It's a picture of Paul on the left and a picture of Troy on the right, or in layman's terms, 2 pictures of Paul. This actor at Troy Becker IG kid looks like a younger, sexier version of me. I don't even use social media anymore, but I had to post this. Ha ha ha. So, a couple things kind of surprised me here. For one, I assumed the whole Troy Becker thing was an attempt to get away from Paul Zimmer. You know, sever ties completely, new persona, new career, we're doing acting now. We're just gonna forget all about the social media thing. He's not even gonna pursue social media anymore, because now he's an actor. But from the looks of it, it seems like Paul does want to continue being an influencer. He just doesn't want anyone to think it's him. Because he made an Instagram account for Troy Becker, so he can continue posting as Troy Becker just on a different account. And he's just hoping no one will think that it's actually him. He also calls Troy a younger, sexier version of himself. So, ew, dude, don't do that. Pretty weird thing to say about yourself, just a different picture of you. Check out this guy. This is like a younger, sexier me. Like 3 seconds younger, but a whole lot sexier. Also, I like that the Paul pic, he has a beard. He grew out his beard just so he could look different than Troy to try to make us think that they're 2 different people. It's especially weird because I've never seen Paul with a beard before this, but he's acting like, yep, this is me, remember me, Paul. The guy with the beard. Feels really weird, like he's trying to gaslight his followers into thinking Paul has always had a beard. So he's not Troy, because Troy doesn't have a beard. No, guys, I'm not Troy, I'm Paul. Remember? Paul, I have a beard, I've always had the beard, you know, the beard's always been kind of my thing. Shortly after that, Paul Zimmer's TikTok account, which had also been dormant for a really long time, suddenly posted this.
Hey, what's up? My name is Troy Becker, I'm an actor. Paul Zimmer reached out to me and asked to record a video because he says he really looks like me, and he wanted to post it onto something called TikTok. So there you go, Paul Zimmer. Nice to meet you guys.
I feel like every time he posts something new, he thinks he's convincing more and more people that he's not Paul. But to me, every post makes me more sure that this is the same dude. Like in this one, you can tell he even talks the same. They have the exact same voice. He didn't even try to sound like a different person. It's just Paul. Also, this Troy Becker dude apparently doesn't know what TikTok is.
There's something called TikTok.
He's a younger version of Paul Zimmer. Paul is 24. So he's younger than Paul, aka he's in the prime demographic for TikTok. And somehow this dude doesn't even know what TikTok is. So that was all a while ago, but then just a couple of days ago, Paul Zimmer posted again on his Instagram this picture of himself this time with this long paragraph of a caption where he basically says that he's done using social media, he doesn't want to be a social media star anymore, he's pursuing other stuff, and he's giving over all of his social media accounts to Troy. He's giving him his Instagram account, he's giving him his TikTok account, everything now belongs to Troy. Which I want to remind you, in case it was not clear, is just Paul. So why, you're probably wondering, is Paul giving his social media accounts over to this random guy? And according to him, it's just because they look the same. Huh? You're giving over your Instagram and TikTok accounts that literally have a combined millions of followers to some random guy that I don't even know if you've ever met because he looks like you? Alright guys, new plan. If I ever get enthralled in a controversy, I'm handing my YouTube channel over to Flint Lockwood from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's not even a good reason. You could have come up with it. You could have come up with any other excuse. But just, he looks like me, so he should get my account. Then a little bit after that, Paul Zimmer posted again on his Instagram account, but this time as Troy. And he posted this lengthy caption introducing himself as Troy Becker, saying he was taking over all Paul's social media accounts. He's honored to have this opportunity to reach so many amazing people. He's got big things coming. He's got a TV show and a movie he's working on, but he will make time to spread love all over social media. The weirdest thing about all of this is that, like, he's not even trying to seem like a different person. Like, look at both of the captions side by side that they posted. They use the same emojis. So all of this is very weird. This is the most recent thing that he's posted on Paul Zimmer's Instagram account. Oh no, actually yesterday, which was Christmas, he posted, "Hey, it's Troy Becker, wishing y'all a Merry Christmas." Still feels so weird posting on this account, haha. But I think that the weirdest thing about all of this is that Paul Zimmer, in his Troy Becker persona, is trying to make himself seem a lot younger than he was when he was Paul Zimmer. So Paul Zimmer's 24, and he mentioned in his Instagram caption before that this dude is a younger, sexier version of him, but we were kind of left wondering how much younger. Like, is this dude 20? Is he 18? And that was answered just a couple days ago when Troy Becker posted this on TikTok.
Hey guys, my name is Troy Becker. I am an American actor. It is nice to meet y'all. As you guys know from Instagram, Paul Zimmer no longer uses any social media, and he has given me his Instagram accounts because he thinks we look alike. I don't know. I don't really see it, but...
Okay. You don't see it? At least try to make it believable, dude. Like, I'm not happy that so many people tweet at me white women that I look like, but I'm not gonna deny that I look like this girl. It's not ideal, but it is the truth, and I have to live with that. So anyway, he just posted this TikTok introducing himself on Paul Zimmer's old TikTok, which is now Troy Becker's TikTok. But the caption says, "Hi, I'm Troy Becker. Nice to meet y'all. Fun fact, my birthday was yesterday. I just turned 16. I look forward to posting." So Paul Zimmer, a 24-year-old man, is now pretending to be 16 years old on TikTok and every other social media platform. Gross? Maybe don't do that? Hey man, that's super creepy. Definitely don't do that. Trying to make yourself seem like a teenager, it's weird. It's really weird, especially because the controversy that drove him away from social media in the first place was that he was exploiting young people for money. And I assume a lot of people thought that was so wrong because he's a grown-ass man and he should know better than to be doing stuff like that. But now he's pretending to be a teenager. Now he can just be like, "Oh, I'm little Troy Becker. I'm just 16. How am I supposed to know not to steal money from people? How am I supposed to know not to steal money from kids? I'm a kid. You can't get mad at me because I'm just a little boy." He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing now. He's a Paul in Troy's clothing. So I'm definitely a little bit worried about what he has planned and why he thinks he needs to be 16 to do it. A bad thing dressing themselves up as a good thing to trick people? Kinda makes you wonder how he thought of the name Troy. So, now that Paul Zimmer's gone and Troy Becker is here to stay, let's figure out who Troy Becker is. You know, who is he? What's he gonna do? How is he different than Paul? Well, according to his TikTok account, he's Troy Becker, he's 16 years old, and he's an actor. Oh, an actor. I wonder if he's been in anything I've heard of. Well, according to his IMDb page, he hasn't been in anything ever. He hasn't even been cast in anything upcoming, which is weird, because if you look on Troy Becker's Instagram account, he's filming stuff all the time. Super excited, I'm currently filming something huge. On set filming today. Whoa, this looks like a pretty high budget shoot. You can tell by all of the film equipment and crew in this picture. He's also posted a few videos of scenes from short films he's been in, but they're all pretty unsettling. Like this one, the caption is, "From a short film I did, also working on my show, and a feature film." It's a scene of him talking to someone. He's having a conversation with someone named Casey, but you never see Casey, and Casey also never responds, and it never changes angles, so it's just a really long shot of him talking to no one.
Can I ask you something? What's up?
Wow, he's such a good actor. It really, for a second, almost kind of felt like he was actually talking to someone. But he's not. Okay, this scene, he actually is interacting with someone. This is a scene where apparently he plays a jock.
Anna, right?
Right.
Justin. Fully. I saw you at the party the other night.
Yeah, I saw you too. You're drier now.
You're drier now? Why was he so wet at the party? But aside from being a serious actor who's in a lot of movies and big TV shows, Troy differs from Paul because Troy loves sports. As you can tell by this Instagram picture where he's posing with a football and he says, "I love sports." This might not really sound like a difference between Paul and Troy, but it's actually a huge one because Paul is into little tiny sports and Troy is into big boy sports. So anyway, that's pretty much the end of the story as of right now. And I kind of hope that's the end of the story forever. I'm so curious as to what Paul thinks he's accomplishing by doing this and why he thinks he needs to be 16 years old to do it. I find it so hard to believe that even a single person believes that this dude is not just Paul Zimmer. Don't get me wrong, I understand wanting to come back from a controversy, you know, maybe he's still really passionate about social media and he wants to do it the right way this time, but like, this is not the right way. Pretending to be someone else is not the right way, dude. Why don't you just apologize? And then come back as Paul Zimmer. It would be so much easier. Trying to sneak back in as a different person makes it seem like you didn't learn anything and you're gonna try to do it again. Anyway, I'm worried about Paul, I'm worried about Troy, but most of all, I'm a little bit worried because I kind of feel like I gave him this idea on accident. I'm a little bit worried that I'm the one who told him that he could pass as a kid. Now I have to admit I was a little bit hesitant about making this video at first because I was like, okay, Paul Zimmer's obviously like this high school kid or maybe like, 14 or 15 years old. He's just having fun in a really weird way. And I don't want to make fun of kids. Like what kind of person would I have to be to like, just constantly be profiting off of mocking kids? But then I found out he was 22 and I was like, oh, perfect. Talk about having a young face. Am I right? So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. It is a little bit more centered around like YouTube drama or social media drama. I usually try to stay away from that stuff, but this was just like so weird that I could not talk about it, especially since I've made videos about Paul before. So I hope you enjoyed it. But now it's time to hear from our sponsor, Audible. Wowee! Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. Guys, Audible is the world's largest selection of audiobooks and audio entertainment, including Audible originals, which if you don't know are stories that have been exclusively created for audio, like documentaries, exclusive audiobooks, and scripted shows that you can't hear anywhere else. Audible will keep you informed, and most importantly, it'll keep you in the loop. If there's a new book that everyone's talking about, you can just listen to it, and then you'll know what they're talking about. With the convenient Audible app, you can listen anytime, anywhere. You can listen on mobile, you can listen on Alexa devices. Got a long car ride ahead of you? Dude, pop on an audiobook. Your boy right here is a very big Star Wars fan, and I've always kind of wanted to get into the extended universe books, especially the Aftermath books, but I just never seem to have the time. Plus, I don't really like sitting down to read. I like listening to audiobooks because I can do it when I'm running or something like that. So I've been listening to those lately, and boy, do I enjoy it. You can exchange any title at any time if you're not loving it. You get to keep your library and listen to it forever, even if you cancel your membership. So start listening right now with a 30-day free trial. You can get 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Go to audible.com/Greg4Life or just text Greg4Life to 500-500. That's audible.com/Greg4Life. LIFE. Or just text Greg for life to 500 500. Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Audible. Check it out, get a free trial. Really no reason not to. It's a great service. I really enjoy using it, and I hope you guys do too. All right, back to you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I call my subscribers Greg, and don't ask why, because if you have to ask, you'll never know. All right, thank you, Olivia, for turning on my notifications. You are truly Greg. I'll see you guys next time with a really interesting video where I find an alien in the woods and help it escape from the government. Bye. This video is over now. Over now. Go find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. But you can't stay on this end screen forever. No. This video is over now. Yeah. Over now. So why are you still watching this?